In my opinion, here are some of the top altcoins that you might want to go ahead and keep on your radar or maybe even buy in June. Now, it's important to understand this because no one really knows when this next leg or this next large leg of the bull run is about to happen. So it's important to at least know about some possible coins. And if you can, maybe dollar cost average. Now, I want to get into what these coins are specifically, of course, and break them down. I've heard a lot of you guys say, I really enjoy the more conversational type videos where I just kind of talk about the coins themselves. I'm going to obviously show you visuals here, but I do want to make it more relaxed. Again, that's just the feedback I've been hearing, so let's get on with it. Now, the chart you're seeing, I believe on your right here, is of course the chart that basically indicates when we can expect sort of next leg up in altcoins or a next move in the overall market, okay? This is a general guide, basically takes the total 3 and Bitcoin's dominance and Bitcoin and kind of mushes them all together. And what we're seeing here is basically the altcoin total 3, so every single altcoin except for Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, go beneath this green line. And this green line basically is the sell your house, put everything in altcoins level, all right? And this only really indicates beneath here when we're about to have an alt season. Now, whether we have an alt season in the next week, 2 weeks, month, or 2 months, it's besides the point, okay? A lot of people I've seen down below are telling people, look, don't buy any altcoins now. Wait until September, wait until August, whenever. That's when we'll see the next move up, okay? Well, what a lot of these charts like this one are showing us is that we can expect an alt season to happen here sometime in that period, sure. But do you want to really risk it all on waiting for a particular point in time to put all your money in or wait for a deeper crash? No. That's why there's such thing called dollar cost averaging, right? Buy, whether that's 20 by 5 or 40%, 20%, whatever. I just think it's a little bit silly, non-financial advice, listening to someone say, hold off until September or October or August, whatever. Why do I think that's silly? Well, recent experience, right? This happened to us in October of last year down here. What was everyone saying down here, including myself? We knew a bull run was about to happen, okay? What did the charts show us? I even had on my channel, go back 6 months. The charts was telling us September, October, November, we were going to see a pump up. But of course, all of us being greedy, ignoring some of the warning signs, decided to wait for a further dip. Well, what happened? Of course, as you can all see, we went up about 2.5x, and this is the global market cap size. Trillions was injected from October up until now. So for those of you, telling people down below to wait until a certain time over here in August or September before we move up, I think that's absolutely crazy. And if you are someone listening to that, be very careful. I say this with all due respect, of course. I'm trying to look out for the people who aren't involved in crypto. The smartest thing one can do is come to CoinMarketCap, have a look at their portfolio, track your portfolio, and see which coins are down on the week, on the day the most, and do a bit of objective analysis and just have a look and see, is this coin the best buy right now? Do I have to buy right now? And will I achieve my multiples from this price if I buy right now? If the answer to all that is no, and you just want to buy because you have money, okay, then that's a very silly thing indeed. Yes, you should wait off in that case. But again, we are at pretty good prices right now. Most of the market's moving sideways, if not slightly downwards. So I think waiting is a silly move, especially when you consider the fact that this next move is this sort of this banana effect, if you will, right? Where we're going to have this massive parabolic run in the first leg. October, what we've seen so far here, this 2.5x, is but merely a blip on the map. So this is not coming from someone who's got a secret hidden objective behind the scenes and I secretly want you to dollar cost average into the whole market to pump my bags. No. I mean, this video's get 20,000 views, guys. I mean, ignore the people who are trying to kind of spur up a little hidden dialogue behind the scenes. What I'm trying to tell you here is speaking from experience. You don't have to listen to me. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you right now, it's better you be prepared than unprepared. Again, not to say waiting for a dip is not a smart thing to do. It's just smart to dollar cost average. All right. Now, some of the criteria we'll be going over today in picking these altcoins for June. Again, June probably will be the time in which we start compressing the time. Again, this next leg up could be days, weeks, a month or two away. Who knows? But I think June, again, is going to be pushing it. Every month we kind of move forward here is going to be pushing it. So what I'm looking at in this case is about 4 different things. First of all is fundamentals, obviously. Is it in good narratives? Are the narratives top ranking? If they're not top ranking narratives like the bottom ones down here, Are they kind of like standout projects? Are they unique enough for people to want to buy into them? Next up, of course, we have announcements, like is there a good roadmap event coming up, like we saw with AOS or website refresh? That's what spiked AOS up 40x. Okay, so these things are to look out for as well. Is the team at least average, if not really good? And same with tokenomics. We're just looking for average or higher. I'm also taking into consideration the coins on today's list being in diverse narratives. So if anyone was to, again, non-financially, pick any of these coins today or all of them, they could actually have a pretty solid portfolio. Also, low price currently, right? So I want them to be down enough right now to be actually good buyers at the current price, but also relatively strong against the entire market, so much so that they haven't really fallen to levels that indicate they don't really have much strength in consumer or retail interest. They have held their own, but again, we can expect some higher price movements. So in the very nature of this new style of video I want to do of my top altcoins, I get it, right? You guys don't really want to hear me talk about every which detail. I kind of moved away from that. If you do want one of those top altcoin videos that goes for half an hour, more than happy to keep doing those. So I'm going to kind of push these through. And if you want to have a deeper look into any of these altcoins, I've basically made videos on all of these. And if I have, I will leave the links down below so you can do more research there and see why I really am truly bullish. So first of all, we have Aerodrome Finance. This is a base altcoin I've personally recently invested in a fair bit of money in, and I'm going to continue buying. Why? It is by far the leading DeFi hub on the Base ecosystem, okay? If we come to DeFi Llama over here, Base is about $1.7 billion in TVL. Aerodrome has a lion's share of that, $700 million in TVL. The next highest is Uniswap, right? A multi-chain DEX and hub. It says 300 million. So this tells me there's a lot of people that love Aero, particularly for Base. And I believe that Base is going to be one of the largest ecosystem in terms of growth, like pretty much the Binance Smart Chain, and therefore it's sort of a DeFi hub on that chain being PancakeSwap had in the last cycle. I've made a video on this recently. Again, I'll leave the link down below. This video over here, I suggest you watch it. I make a lot of comparisons between it and PancakeSwap. Basically from here, I think it can 20x, maybe even 30x. Again, this is price prediction, guys. This is my personal prediction. So that's finding the top. That's the ceiling if it were to spike and come down again. So you don't want to be aiming for that. Always go underneath. So personally, if I was buying Aerodrome right now, I wouldn't be looking for a 20 or a 30x. I'd be looking for about a 15x, probably max, just to be safe. You probably could push towards a 20x side just because I think it can do more than that. Now, what you'll notice is Aero's done some pretty insane multiples already, and this can be a little bit concerning if you are someone seeing this going, oh, we're late. Guys, I want to make the record straight here, right? Back down here, the market cap was in the like the single $1 million digits, right? Maybe in the teens, right? 20, 30 million maybe. But up here obviously begins to get higher, okay? We pretty much start tracking it at about 800 million or 600 million market cap. And right now we're at about a 500 or so million market cap. So the people buying way back down here would have been very, very minute. Most people would have been buying up here where basically we are right now. And again, considering it is the single point or like the single USP here is as the main hub on Base, I think it'll attract a lot more demand than what you might initially perceive. Again, many comparisons over there with PancakeSwap. So the all-time high was about $2.33 and we're about $1.23 right now. So we've come down more or less about $1. But again, a lot of strength in this coin. I've seen a lot of interest in it so far. That's why it's made this list. Let's relax our brain for a second here and get back to being ahead of the curve in just a moment. But first, I wanted to introduce you to a super new and ultra low market cap coin with some serious potential called Tars AI. Now, Tars actually reached out to sponsor today's video to tell you all about their super interesting AI focused project. And I actually wanted to say a big thank you to Tars because without them, I couldn't continue to bring high quality daily crypto content to you. Tars is an AI-driven, scalable Web3 infrastructure project built on the Solana blockchain that facilitates the operational transition from Web 2 to Web 3 for individuals and also businesses with many types of products and services. But the key part here is AI. Tars leverages artificial intelligence in almost all of their products as it's the very pinnacle of work and home life operation these days, especially when it comes to working within within Web3. Products like their Web3 AI aggregator, AI wallet, and multi-chain AI bridging tool all actually integrate seamless use of crypto tech with the inclusion of AI. Not to mention as well, they also offer blockchain as a service and custom token creation for businesses looking to scale their own networks, leveraging, well, you guessed it, AI. All this to say their products allow users to remain at the spearhead of the AI revolution whilst transitioning their operations from a Web 2 only environment into a Web 3.1 as well. Now, you might be asking, what's the benefit of this? Well, the benefit of transitioning to Web 3 is the cross-border and flexible ecosystem that has been flourishing over the last few years, which is also a great hedge into the future technology developments. Interestingly, TARS is the only AI altcoin to be directly backed by the Solana Foundation with a $300,000 grant and a possible multi-tweet support campaign coming soon as well, alongside other large crypto influencers. Like any crypto veteran should know, growth in this space has all got to do with a successful marketing campaign, which is what TARS is aiming to accomplish here. They're even looking to list on Bybit and KuCoin, two very popular tier 1 exchanges, which should bring in even more demand. If you want to know more about TARS, do not forget to go down below and use the links to research more, because as you all should know, you need to do your own research. Let's get back to the video. My next coin today is Pyth Network. Now, Pyth, long story short, I've made a video on this again recently, actually, this particular event. Had a massive unlock, which actually pushed down the price of Pyth quite a lot. This huge unlock, about 2.5x its supply in a single day. And this actually caused the price to drop pretty significantly, okay? People got quite scared. I said this was nothing going to be a sort of sell the rumor, buy the news event, like the complete inverse of what we typically see on a positive story, if you will. And this created a fantastic entry level for a lot of people. So for those of you who took that, congratulations. I believe Pyth's price has been artificially pushed down more than the market because of this. And I think now is a fantastic entry, of course, not financial advice, for this strong Oracle coin, okay? So it's a contender to the likes of, Chainlink, but actually it does a lot of things arguably better in terms of an Oracle than Chainlink. First of all, it's on a lot more networks. You can see here, it's on over 50 networks, providing most of the TVS or total value secured on those new networks. The likes of Hedera is on there as well. Some of these really big growing ecosystems as well. Chainlink has a lot less, but Chainlink does offer more protocols, you can see here. However, Pyth offers all of its price feeds. It's like over 500 price feeds now to all of the chains, whereas Chainlink does not do that, and that's just because of the type of Oracle model it actually uses. Now, we can come over here. They have a full transparency report every single month they do on the growth of the network. The TVS is a bit stagnant right now. Actually, it's came down. It's been pretty much going exponential for a while, and now it's again plateaued a little bit here, which I believe is indicative of this here scaring a lot of people. I have seen the charts. People were unstaking and selling their Pyth in anticipation for it. Again, I think this is going to be a great entry level. Now, yes, we have come down pretty much to the levels in which it launched at. However, again, this is, I believe, artificially pulled down. The next unlock won't be happening for a while. And when this does happen, we'll likely have, hopefully, our Pyth positions hit. What price am I looking for Pyth? Well, I believe this project can go in excess of $10. So the multiples are definitely here. Again, just remember to be very safe. You don't want to be aiming for that exact price. If you can, get a little bit less. My next coin today is Flare. You've heard me talk about Flare. I'll leave the full review video down below. That got a lot of views. A lot of you are super interested in this unique layer 1. So it is a Web3 layer 1 project comparable to the likes of Cardano, Neo Protocol, Solana. But these guys do something really unique. What they actually do is take bridging and they take oracles and a little bit more, and they embed it all in the layer 1 itself. So if we come to the website here and scroll down, it's called the FTSO, or First Time Series Oracle, and the Data Connector. The FTSO basically is, of course, the Oracle in which it provides real-time data based on their own Oracle network to all the applications built on Flare, which means it's a lot more secure and can be a lot more faster rather than relying on a third party like products basically like Chainlink or Pyth to actually provide those Oracle points and then send them out to the ecosystem. It all happens directly through Flare itself, and they have quite a large amount of FTSO providers, more than what you would assume for a project not entirely focused on an Oracle network. A lot of big names in here as well. You can see Bifrost Wallet is even one of these Oracle providers, right? These data providers itself. So this is some very, very big stuff. Not to mention as well, the data connector is a very, very bullish thing indeed. What it does is pull in information basically to and from and bridges information to the entire crypto ecosystem. So it's a bridge. But what it also does is ensure that it's completely insured. Okay, so any assets going across the chains actually have 100% security on them. And even if there was a hack, there's a full refund employed. And also, it pulls information from the internet. I mean, that is a massive part of crypto that is extremely undervalued and over needed basically right now. So this is a very, very bullish thing. And again, I've done a full deep dive on this. They also are pretty much creating their own stablecoin as well, USDX. This is actually boosted by something called Hex Trust. Hex Trust are the guys that are issuing this token alongside, Flare, of course. And these guys have some massive people behind them. They're absolutely huge. They're in a fair few different countries and they're registered in different jurisdictions. So these are their trusted partners. And this is pretty much comparable to the likes of Circle, okay? So USDC. You can see IBM, Hedera Hashgraph is connected to these guys, Polygon, and so on. So big stuff for the likes of Flare. That's why I'm bullish. It's held its own, right? It's pretty much come down here and dipped quite low. It's basically 5x from the lows. And now we're down here basically a 2x lower than that point. But I believe a fantastic entry level for a $1 billion market cap coin. So Manta is one of the coins I'm going to show today. Now, Manta, it has a bit of controversy around it. There's a few people sort of asking questions, is it really worth it? It went up to like $1 billion market cap. It's come back down again and so on. But guys, just like Pyth, you have to understand the reason why Manta actually fell down here was because the market had a massive sort of series of events that obviously pulled it down after we hit all-time highs. And Manta really never established a strong floor. It just literally fell through any sort of support we had over here and completely tanked the bed. Now, it's found support down in this little trough over here, and it's slowly come up from those lows of about $1.45-ish, now up to about $1.80, which is good to see. And I think this is a fantastic entry for the project. Of course, non-financial advice, right? The reason why I'm really bullish on Manta personally is because I stake my Manta. I worked it out every time I'm getting these staking rewards, which is on average about 35% APY right now. That is going to enable me in the next 6 to 8 months, whenever I decide to sell my tokens, get an extremely low average buy-in, which is, of course, better because I'm enabling basically a lower buy-in price to then give me more multiples on the top side. The more multiples you have, the lower you bring down the top side, like your exit level, the safer you are. So if the entry level comes down from staking, there's no point in just making more money. It's best to be safe and bring that top side down with it. That's what I'm doing. You don't have to, of course, but there is a lot of good things to say about Manta as well. They're doing a lot of firsts in the space. I find it super interesting. They have a Polkadot layer 1 and also an EVM or Ethereum layer 2. And that bridge obviously works quite well. Then you also have the zero knowledge proof aspect of the project as well, which is kind of like Mina, if you guys know Mina protocol, which I quite like. They're introducing something called ZK circuits, which is a very unique way to implement ZKPs in already existing applications on Manta that enable them to be privacy focused. A lot of good things to say. Now, people are quite scared about Manta because of the VC sort of aspect of it, right? It's one of the high VC enabled projects. There's a lot of investment in it. Now it is high. You can see here a VC printer, but the dump dominance is low, or the dump presence rather is low. This is simply because these guys don't get their tokens for a while, and when they do, it's very slowly emitted. So the chance that these guys dump on us is quite low. That's why I think this project right now is really undervalued. And again, if you want to look into it, links down below. I've done a pretty decent review alongside Celestia, so I'll leave it down below. My AI pick today is Spectral, okay? Spectral is a $100 million market cap coin. It's focusing on the AI agents, okay? So one of the first products it's launching here that is an AI agent is called Syntax. Basically, it takes human language, right? Just typing into like a chat box, and it creates a Solidity code out of that text, but also does a few more things. You can see here you can create code that enables you to find, arbitrage, NFTs, roll-ups, and more. You just type it in, what you want to do, and it creates it. Okay, very powerful tool, and of course, fantastic for developers or teams looking to reduce operational costs, because it does take a lot of money to create a smart contract. I know, because we're trying to create one ourselves for the private community. It's about $20,000 for a very basic smart contract, which is just crazy to think about, right? Now, Spectral's price is an extremely good level, I think, right now. At $10, it was at $12 not long ago, which is when I was looking to buy. Luckily, I decided to hold off for a little bit longer. So it's actually held up pretty well in the grand scheme of things. It is a very, very new coin, though, so we can't expect too much in terms of the price action. Either way, I think on an overall level, it's about a 2x up from its lows, which is, in comparison to the whole market right now, pretty bloody good, okay? Now, these guys are backed by some huge VCs, all right? The IEO undisclosed round, basically just funding rounds, okay, had massive backers. Samsung, for starters, is one of them. Also, Galaxy Digital, right? Mike Novogratz himself, his VC, invested in this. Polychain, S-tier capital. Parafy, probably a B to S-tier capital. Jump Capital is up there as well. Circle, all right, again, the USDC issuer. There's a fair few names on this list. There's more of them here. So it's definitely one to look out for, and it's a hidden gem. I think will take the AI space by surprise. And lastly, a coin that hasn't released just yet, that's a real-world asset play, is called Lingo. Okay, this is a really unique project that's, if it actually comes to fruition, could be really, really big. Okay, even if it half comes to true, it's going to be quite impressive, but do not FOMO into this, okay? I just want to tell you about it today. Of course, unreleased project, so DYOR for sure. So what these guys do basically is go out and buy assets, right? Real estate, hotels or whatever. And they, of course, pretty much build the infrastructure. And when that generates yield, okay, like dollars, it comes back into a DAO run by the community. And rather than receiving yield, so like the Lingo token itself, we receive, different sort of prizes or different sort of real world, I guess you could say like real world rewards. So they have a long list of partners already, the likes of Netflix, IKEA, Spotify, Nike, PlayStation. So we can receive different kinds of rewards from these guys. It might be gift cards. It might be a night stay in one of the Novotel apartments. It can be a whole host of things. But what this basically does is take real world yield, brings it back into crypto, it leverages crypto, and then allows the people that are basically putting up their capital to grow this ecosystem to then reap the rewards on those particular sort of investments, if you will, or other investments. So it's a really unique take on real world assets. SocialFi as well, and what they're kind of doing to initiate this as an airdrop, okay? The Lingo airdrop is a really cool, I guess, gamification mechanism that's a little bit different to what we've seen before, okay? It's definitely doing things interestingly, okay? So this is probably a good thing as well because it's going to incentivize people to want to actually get into the airdrop. So you, of course, might be one to do that. If you want to know how to actually use this, just click how to play on the side over here. But you have to go through the phases, right? Ape Rock, Hotel Haven, so on, right up to, I believe the last one here is Whale Island. And then if you click into it, it'll just tell you what to do, okay? So basically this first one will be just to connect your Twitter and also connect your email, and then you receive the first particular reward. And then you go on, and then you receive an airdrop, all right? Again, this just incentivizes people to click into it and so on. So these guys have a pretty good following so far over on Twitter. The team actually is stacked, so I would go have a look at the team if I was you. These are people from all walks of life and all of these massive corporations. So again, guys, it's some pretty interesting stuff here. If it comes true, right, if this actually comes to fruition and things have kicked off, I mean, who knows, okay? Just do more research into all of these coins today. Again, I'll leave the links down below so you can. With that being said, take good care. Talk to you soon. Bye.